Mansfield with Monsters is a collection of Katherine Mansfield's short stories restored to contain the monsters of her first drafts.
Dr. Walker is an academic. He lives in Hamilton, and his 1990 thesis was an analysis of some partial drafts of early Mansfield stories, which he uncovered whilst travelling in Tibet, retracing her footsteps. There's more than a dozen creatures in those early drafts of Katherine Mansfield's. They range from traditional monsters like werewolves and vampires and mummies and so on, to more modern creatures like alien parasites or zombies.
Mansfield wrote about moments of epiphany and insight, and it becomes even darker when the trigger for that moment is an encounter with the supernatural. There's ample evidence that Katherine Mansfield was interested in the occult. She met with occult figures such as Aleister Crowley, and she travelled to many places of magical significance in Europe.
Did she literally believe in the existence of monsters? Well, it's impossible to say, but the early drafts of her stories certainly were written as though she did.
Dr. Walker is a traveller and a collector of stories, both as an oral poet and also as a hoarder of documents.
Some of his theories are a little out there. The connections he draws between the Illuminati and the pastoral genre, for example. His work on the McCarthy-era counterculture literature, which is fairly biased, I think most people have agreed. But he's been willing to go to extreme lengths to infiltrate occult groups to find the connections between the occult and authors who previously had not been connected with that world.
What does Dr. Walker think of the book? He's delighted by it, and he's been extremely encouraging about the project. It's very important to him that the public become aware of this other side of Mansfield's writing.
Why she abandoned the themes of the supernatural in her later stories, we don't know. Why these stories were indeed edited and the supernatural elements excised, we can never know for sure. But it was important to him that the world learn of this side of Katherine Mansfield, a great writer, and a writer with an even richer past than we had previously known. Well, unfortunately there was a fire recently at Dr. Walker's house and his entire archive was destroyed. He was lucky to escape with his life. Since then, he's been hard to contact. I did speak with him briefly on the phone, but he was obviously very distressed. He thought he could hear a buzzing or a ticking sound on the phone, and he was worried that he was being followed or photographed or observed in some way. We're very concerned about him. We hope he's okay, and we hope he can make it to the book launch. But clearly, an event like that will take its toll on him. He's not a young man.